What's up, people? I am back. I'm still gonna do that Piranha review. I'm gonna watch it probably right after this, but felt like I wanted to get this off my chest. So today, I am gonna be going in on why I'm pretty much, but I guess I'll finally confirm it. I'm done with superhero movies. I'm gonna stop saying pretty much. I'm done with them. So. I love superhero stuff. Like, I've always been in DC and Marvel. And, when I was, pretty much coming up, it was like, you had the Blade films. You had the Raimi Spider-Man, the Fox X-Men movies. And then, obviously, when I was middle school and on, that's when the MCU started. And that's when, we got the Nolan trilogy through my few years in high school. So superhero movies were flourishing. And then, you had MCU, and then you had even DCU initially with, Man of Steel, which is going to be my thumbnail for this video. But then something happened, we were getting good stuff, still even into, 2016 and 17, but I don't know. I would say the last year, I think I've pretty much, I guess I would say, fully enjoyed superhero movies. Maybe 19, because you had Joker, but I was out of the MCU by that point. I would probably say it had to be 2017 or 18. It's probably that time. But I just feel like over the years, with specifically MCU, the movies have just got repetitive. It's nothing but we got to make jokes and just constant references, make every character the same. And then with DC, they can't even get their foot off the ground. They had, whatever you think of Zack, they had a direction, and then they got rid of them. And now DC is just making movies. We don't even really know who fucking Superman is right now, because Henry Cavill's in and out of the door. You don't know if Ben Affleck is there. It's DC's in shambles. And then we got to include... The celibate is there. The reason I've been kind of getting out, but I would say pretty much is just Marvel. Like I've been mentioned, make the same movies, but now we don't have any captivating characters right now. I don't give a fuck about Shang-Chi. I don't give a fuck about definitely don't care about America Chavez, who's dog shit in the comics. And then you want to adapt Riri Williams? Why? If you you needed someone to take Tony's place, granted, I do think they've kind of done him wrong, but War Machine would probably make more sense. Why fucking... In the comics, she's a terrible character, so let's adapt her. That's the problem with DC's doing it too, but they're just adapting these trash new characters. I'm like, you're going to do Riri Williams before you bring in the X-Men, or before you bring in Fantastic Four. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then they're swapping characters and just changing characters' storylines now. It doesn't even matter. What they're doing with Doctor Doom, they're basically getting rid of his Latvian background. With Namor in the new MCU, he's pretty much not Atlantean. He's just some Aztec dude. And I get some, it's trying to be realistic, and they're trying to, but no, that's not the character. For me, that's the big reason, honestly, why I'm out. What's the point of getting fucking invested if you're not even gonna adapt the characters, right? You're not gonna make them look like the characters they look like. Oh, let's just race swap because reasons. Sorry, Jim Gordon isn't black. And watching the Batman, it was fucking distracting. I'm like, no, Jim Gordon's a white guy. You're not even trying to make the characters look like the characters anymore. You're changing their backstories. When you do all this shit, they're not the character anymore. So basically, it just comes down to, why should I get invested? And that's just what I'm seeing from both companies. Granted, the movie got canceled, But that Batgirl movie, race swap Barbara Gordon, like what? Like, you're just not doing the characters anymore. When you have so many characters you can use, but now I'm just like, oh, they're not even gonna adapt them right. Doctor Doom should be a slam dunk for Marvel, and a lot of people, probably most people, like Marvel fans, he's like their favorite villain. For me, it's Magneto, but Doctor Doom's up there, and they're gonna fuck him because they're gonna let's change his background. He's probably not gonna be as threatening. He'll probably be done as a joke because the MCU has to do everything as a joke. Like, I don't trust him with Magneto. Like, and then that's the talk. People are like, "Oh, get Denzel to be Professor X." Like, no, Denzel's a great actor. Professor X isn't black, and people are like, who will defend this one? Well, does race doesn't matter? Like, no, it does. I'm just gonna say it. I know it sounds fucked up, but it does because y'all will argue the reverse if it was let's make Storm white, and no, it's not fucking different. It's the same. Like with. It just goes back to my race swapping thing. It's so dumb in comics because there's so many black characters. They only do black. They don't race swap them to like Asian or something. They only do them to black. But there's so many characters you could use, but no, let's race swap. Professor X. Why? X-Men, there's already black characters. Grant, I like Days of Future Past, but Bishop hasn't really been adapted. Why not do him? I get why they had to do him. They did in Days of Future Past, but it's still like it would be cool to see that character adapted right. But yeah, no, let's race and it to me, that's just demeaning to fucking Denzel. He's such a good actor. He's played so many original characters. Let's just have him play a swap. No, and Professor X isn't that. And it goes with Magneto. There are people who want I think Giancarlo Esposito's the name I've seen thrown around. Like, no. These characters, especially with Magneto, because his story is tied with the Holocaust. Just, guys, this is fundamentally why I'm out. You're not even trying to make the characters anymore. We used to, with the comic book movies, yeah, they would take liberties, but one of the fundamental things they did right, at least for a while, is, the character looked like the character. Chris Evans looked like Captain America for the most part. Henry Cavill looks like Superman. Ben Affleck looks like Batman. Robert Downey Jr. looked like Iron Man from the comics. They got that right. That's what got us hooked. It got me hooked. But now they're not even doing that. You're not even doing that. You're just changing their backstory and then expecting me to that's why honestly this year, not one thing can I say is my favorite thing is a superhero related thing at all. I can't think of a superhero thing at all this year that I've enjoyed. That I've watched. Because I'll admit I've not watched any of the MCU shows, at least all the way through. Or the only superhero thing sorry, the Batman wasn't good. All the Marvel stuff looked like shit, with Thor and fucking Doctor Strange. Just there's nothing in the horizon. I don't care about Aquaman 2. I don't care about Black Adam. Black Adam just looks like a fucking factory movie, and that's just what I've become. I think I'm at a point. I don't think we're going to get anything good. I know not everyone loved it, but for me, I'm kind of fine with Snyder Cut being that cap off for me, because I just don't think we're going to get anything in the horizon that captures my attention. Maybe there will someday, but not right now. I guess what it would take to at least maybe look into it is if they were we're going to do a Henry Cavill Superman movie. That'd probably be the only thing. Or Ben Affleck Batman movie for the DC side. Marvel, I don't know. Now that pretty much Disney own them, pretty much everything, unless it'd have to be Sony's we're going to do an Amazing Spider-Man 3 or something that's separate from the MCU timeline, then maybe you might get me. But I think in terms of movies, I'm pretty much done with superheroes. I'm fine with that. They've had a good run. To be honest, they've had probably over 20-year run. If you combine it, even, pre-MCU. So, I would almost argue, I think they've had a good run. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Later tonight, I'm still going to be doing a Piranha. I cannot wait. Those movies are fun. Those new ones are heavily fun. And Elizabeth Shue, I think is her name. She's Allie from Karate Kid Part 3. And she was in Cobra Kai, and she's actually a good lead in this, so she's the sheriff, so Can't wait to watch that again. So I'll be watching that after this. But yeah, I just need to get that off my chest. So maybe one day I'll come back. But I mean, I think at least for superhero stuff, maybe you might have to just look into games. Like Spider-Man PS4 look was pretty good. If DC can just like, I'm not, Gotham Knights doesn't really have my attention. But if they were like, we're gonna do like a new Batman series game or a Superman game, I think that's where superhero stuff can probably flourish. Because I just think the movies, you're just gonna get recycled shit constantly. So I just want to get that off my chest. Piranha 3D review tonight, but cheers and peace out. But I'll talk to you guys later. Fuck the Biden administration.